Were the victims of those bucking Broncos last Sunday. Are they going to be stampeded by the Bulls now? Bradford ran Wigan close last weekend. Tonight they mix it with the big boys again here at Headingley. Leeds were on the receiving end of the biggest upset of the season on Sunday when the Broncos beat them at Brentford. Just the kickstart needed for the capital, but a real shocker for Leeds. If coach Dean Bell didn't know it before, he now realises the size of his task at Headingley. Bell, though, is determined to get it right. Gary Schofield was ill last Sunday. He didn't play, but the inspirational skipper returns tonight, and he knows full well what his boss wants to see at Headingley.
Dean's main objective for this Leeds side is that is to get our defence in order and get that consistency going, because the players that we've got here, we can score tries against anybody and score tries against anybody in the park. But our fall down or our letdown has been our defence, and Dean's major asset is going to be getting our defence sorted out. And once we do that, then I'm sure we're going to be a big force to be reckoned with.
Youngsters like Paul Cook have grabbed much of the Leeds limelight this season. 11 goals from 11 attempts against Halifax recently, just too short of a club record. Tony Kemp was Leeds' major summer signing. The classy standoff is a quick thinker and always looking to exploit the defence. After defeat in London, Kemp knows for many of the supporters this is the moment of truth.
It's only a very big game for us, We didn't really want to lose down at London. We wanted to stay in touch with Wigan, and I think if we...
forward.
Oh, of course it was a tremendous atmosphere, and even though that Warrington lost, people say, oh, they'll never come back again. They don't know kids that people say that. Kids just enjoy it. They were actually cheering Workington. They just went for the fun, and that's what it's all about. Well, kids love enjoyment.
There were about 7,000 there on Wednesday when the Saints were the visitors, so they must have done something right. Leeds against Bradford, can they do something right on the big league tonight? That's the match that we have for you on Sky Sports. And coming up next, we'll take a look at the way the two sides line up. Leeds have made changes after last Sunday. 100% home record goes on the line tonight against a Bradford side that's won only 3 games away from home throughout 1995. We're live and exclusive here on Sky Sports 2 tonight. Glad you could join us for what will be a raw-boned clash, this, believe me. Leeds and Bradford, no love lost between these two sides. Let's check out the way the two teams line up for you now. Beginning with the fullbacks, Paul Cook, and we say welcome home to St John Ellis, who left Castleford for Australia at the end of last season. Wings, it's Jim Fallon, and a return for Welsh international Gerald Cordell. Francis Cummins wants 2 points for 250 for Leeds, and the first of the Headingley old boys is Jonathan Scales. Centre Marvin Golden on his full debut up against Kiwi Carl Hall. Craig Innes, who's in great form just now, going head-to-head with Robbie Paul. Standoff Tony Kemp and the versatile Neil Summers, who literally can play anywhere. Scrum half England's coaches are here tonight, as we've said, so it's a crucial game for Gary Schofield. He has formidable opposition in Derek Fox. Up front, Neil Harmon, who's also under England's scrutiny, and Andy Ireland. And it's a debut for the £100,000 man from Wigan, Barry McDermott, who's up against John Hamer. Hookers, James Lowes, and he was here on loan 2 seasons ago, Jason Donoghue. Second row, Gary Mercer returns after missing the London defeat. Another ex-Leeds star is Paul Dixon. And it's George Mann against Carl Furbank. Completing the lineup, Mike Forshaw, and making his big league debut is Graham Shaw.
Doesn't want to play for Bradford. If he hasn't got his heart and soul into it, then let him go, because they'll get $500,000 for him. Leeds are desperate to replace Craig Innes when this season's finished. He's going down under his Innes, so they'll fork out $500,000, and from that, if you've got 500,000, I'm sure that Brian Smith could get 3, 4, or maybe even 5 very good players from around the country, and even maybe a couple from overseas, to strengthen the squad that Bradford needs strengthening very, very quickly.
So a question of biting the bullet, basically.
I think so, yes.
Paul, it must be magic to your ears to hear the players are going for £500,000 and all that sort of business. You've been at Warrington, what, 15 years?
Well, yes. It's above my head and out of my depth, but it indicates the growing strength of rugby league and also the transfer market, which was very sterile 2 or 3 years ago. Money is coming back into the game.
Will Bradford miss Paul Newlove tonight, do you think?
I think they will. Obviously, Newlove is the key player in the three quarters there, and I think in opposition tonight, Craig Innes can create an awful lot of penetration for Leeds, and I think that's a key area. Schofield will, of course, control from the halves, and Innes is a very, very difficult man to stop. And Leeds, again, a massive point to prove.
Well, they have got a point to prove, Steve. Or does that put any greater pressure on them, the fact that coming into this match after such an awful defeat?
Oh, of course it is. I mean, it's all about pressure. That's why we call them professionals. They've got to handle it, and that's why we have Wigan winning so many trophies. That's why they're so superb, because they look at it professionally. I'm afraid the other teams don't look at it the same way. I mentioned earlier that this Leeds side has to come out focused. They've got to focus themselves for the full 80 minutes. If they can do that, they'll beat Bradford. Bradford will come out to try to spoil Leeds. They know that Leeds have got the firepower out wide. They've got the speed in Cummins, and they've got Fallon out on the wing. And with Kemp now mixing it with Schofield, they'll get the links going. That was something badly missed down in London last week, was the fact that they never got the ball out wide.
Well, about time, I think, that we got our two guests here tonight to put their necks on the block. It's nothing new, of course, for Steve-O. He does that every week, don't you, old boy? But Paul, a winner?
I can't see past Leeds at all. I think McDermott, again, a man who has another major point to prove, still on the international scene, and I'm expecting Leeds to win quite comfortably towards the end.
Easy towards the end for Leeds, what say you?
Oh, it won't be that easy. I'd say Leeds by 10.
OK, that's the way that these two see it. I wonder how we will see it and how you will see it, because we have the whole match coming for you live and exclusive here tonight on Sky Sports 2. Leeds against Bradford. Coming up, we have the whole match for you live. Don't go away, stay exactly. It's Leeds against Bradford Bulls on the big league tonight here on Sky Sports 2. We're live and exclusive with you, seeing a match in which last season Leeds completed 4 emphatic wins over Bradford. 3 of them here at Headingley. Quite a few of the Bradford Bulls supporters, the new breed, have come up the motorway junction to see this match as Gary Schofield and a tiny mascot comes out onto the Headingley pitch. A magnificently manicured Headingley surface it is too. I think her favourite player happens to be the Leeds captain, though tonight she's got the wrong number on her back. Schofield returns after illness. He was most unwell last week, and he was missed badly in the capital against the Broncos. Out come Bradford Bulls. Still a temptation to call them Bradford Northern, but Bradford Bulls it is. Nowhere in the Super League has the change been felt more radically than at Bradford. And Barry McDermott, what a night it is for him. £100,000 worth of prop forward bought from Wigan last week. He wasn't plunged into the match in London because he was just lacking a touch of match fitness, but he's most certainly in here tonight. Taking his place in this Leeds team with Cook at fullback, Fallon, Golden on his debut, Innes and Cummins, Kemp and Schofield, the captain, Harmon, Lowe's, McDermott, there he is, Mercer and Mann and Forshaw. And just to recap on the bench, the young bench, Mick Shaw, David Gibbons, Adrian Morley and Nick Fozzard. And Mick Shaw, the oldest of that quartet, he is 20. St John Ellis is winding his Bradford Bulls colleagues up. Formerly with York and Castleford, he came here from the Queensland Crushers, and he will play the winter season with the Bulls. 40 tries for St John Ellis in his last season in the big league. There he is at fullback in this Bradford side, which has Caudle, Hall, Paul and Scales as its three quarters, Summers and Fox the captain, Ireland, Donahue, Hamer, Dixon, Furbank and Graham Shaw making his big league bow, and on the bench Simpson, Tomlinson, Boothroyd and Powell. The coach, of course, Brian Smith. Match referee is Stuart Cummings. He must be feeling the Yorkshire chill in the air tonight, just stripping off the tracksuit, getting ready for this. One of the top officials in the game, one of 3 British referees on the World Cup panel. Gary Schofield wearing the number 7 jersey, the lead scrum half tonight. His partnership with Tony Kemp will be important. So we're live and exclusive on Sky Sports 2 tonight for Leeds against Bradford Bulls. It's the Bulls in the shape of Derek Fox who get this match underway. An important game for Leeds. Mike Forshaw will drive the ball in. Good tackling by Donahue and by Furbank. Clapping his hands was James Lowes. He finds Gary Mercer. Mercer, who pulled out of the match against London last Sunday very late. He was injured in training last Saturday. Fully fit though. And Neil Harmon, he will be looking for a big game tonight because Phil Larder and the other English coaches are in the Headingley stand running the rule over this match. Bearing in mind they have to whittle their squad down to 25 on Tuesday morning. Lowes with the run from dummy half. Climbing all over the back of him was Paul Dixon, one of the former Leeds contingent in this Bradford side. And Schofield with the kick downfield. And eventually it finds touch, but only just.
Beautiful kick by the experienced Gary Schofield there. You could see that the Bradford defence was moving up onto the first marker, which was Tony Kemp. They fully expected that Kemp was about to receive the football, but Schofield in at dummy half took a step to the blind side. It was a beautiful kick downfield. Sinjanel is quite happy to let it go in.
I think the importance of this occasion is not lost on Gary Schofield tonight as Jonathan Scales takes that tackle. And that's Graham Shaw, the young loose forward, 20 years old. He's the 25th first-team player to be used by Brian Smith this season so far. Good tackle by Craig Innes. Innes, the number 4 for Leeds, in magnificent form. Defensively and in attack. Hamer, and that's 5 around John Hamer, and he eventually is hauled to the floor by Neil Harmon.
Was a great tackle, wasn't it, by the New Zealander Craig Innes. Andy Ireland, the prop forward, couldn't believe who'd done it to him.
Kick downfield is straight into the arms of Paul Cook, and Cook has some speed, and he tries to escape the clutches of Jonathan Scales, but Scales stuck to the task very well indeed. Fallon is roughhoused and wrestled to the floor. No quarter-ass Steve-O in these matches between Leeds and Bradford. Just one junction down the motorway. Neighbouring towns, but the referee is saying that the prop forward, John Hamer, might have to go to the blood bin here.
There's a touch of claret coming out of the nose area. Pretty rough exchanges, rough and tough in the opening minutes. Interesting to see both these sides, both Dean Bell and Brian Smith have come to a sides where they've had problems in their defence, but you can see how eager Bradford are there. I'm sure that both coaches would have been working hard in that department this week.
Here's Schofield now, he misses out George Mann and finds Forshaw. It looked a high tackle on him by Carl Hall, and the referee agrees, and he tells the Kiwi Hall to keep the arms down.
Well, Forshaw stepped back on the inside, and the big New Zealander did make contact. Flat of the hand, but that is a bad mistake.
Yes, didn't find touch with the kick. St. John Ellis will run it out. Ducks under one tackle, can't get away from Lowes though. And the tackle that he ducked under was Barry McDermott, the big prop forward for Leeds, who's obviously out to make an early impression here in his Leeds career.
He dropped that, Cal Fairbank.
Yes, Fairbank did not play the ball properly. It's a penalty to Leeds.
You see, he just loses control.
He's claiming there that the ball was knocked out of his hand.
Seems to think that the Leeds hooker had something to do with it. Either way, it's a penalty. An ironic cheer from the crowd here that Leeds have actually found touch with that penalty. That really was a bad mistake a few moments earlier.
They've got away with it though. They're back in possession here now. Harmon will try and drive the ball in, but Hamer was there to meet him along with Andy Ireland, the 2 prop forwards. That's the first drive of Barry McDermott's Leeds career. Schofield switches the direction of the attack. He finds Kemp, who finds Mann. The tackling by Donoghue was sound. Lowes is the dummy half. There's Schofield, Kemp, and he gives it to Innes, who tries to run over the top of Fox. Fox takes a knock on the chest, but Leeds have a penalty for offside against the Bulls.
They never retrieved the 10 on the blind side. It was well spotted by Derek Fox, but there you see it. They never retrieved back to the 10. Never made any attempt. Eager to get away. All that good work, defensive-wise, by Derek Fox. He knew that the ball was coming back on the inside from Tony Kemp.
5 minutes gone, 3 penalties in the match, and all to Leeds. And this one is eminently kickable for Paul Cook. 27 goals so far this season. 74 points he's scored because he's managed 5 tries as well. But 62 points for the 19-year-old in his last 4 games. Tremendous run he's on, the Academy International. Alan Tate is our guest on sideline tonight, and the way Cook is playing, it will be the devil's own job to dislodge him. Kicking like that as well, straight and true, not a problem for Paul Cook. And Leeds have a 2-0 advantage.
That'll settle the nerves. Leeds were a little bit going at 100 miles an hour.
Hamer still receiving treatment to that bloody nose, and it's causing him a problem. The policeman, who has refused to go full-time with Bradford, but despite that, they have retained his services. Such is the high esteem they hold him in.
Looks as though he's either got a stray stud across the face or perhaps a fingernail. So easy happens in tough tackling like this.
Yes, it's rough and tough early. There's always going to be. Brian Smith arrived in time for Bradford's first away win of the season at Oldham. Victory tonight really would win over very quickly the Oddsall faithful, as George Mann takes that, play the ball to himself, no one standing in front, perfectly legal. Craig Innes trying to swat away the tacklers, but someone had moved inside and tried to straighten up, and they've been caught offside. He played the advantage, did the referee Stuart Cummins. No advantage forthcoming, so he blew for the penalty.
Well, he's pretty keen tonight, Stuart Cummins, on this offside ruling. Let's hope he keeps it on all through the full 80 minutes. That means that we'll get an open game, and that means plenty of tries.
McDermott plays the ball to Lowe's, to Schofield, and that this time is a penalty to Bradford. Didn't play it properly, James Lowe's.
Didn't get off the floor properly.
McDermott, rather.
McDermott, you'll find, is sort of trying to play the ball while he's halfway down. You must stand up first. That was an awful attempt. Quite a few in attendance. John Hamer, one of the culprits, but got away with it. Well, that releases the pressure for Bradford. Leeds really did do nothing with it.
Penalties 4-1 in Leeds' favour at the moment. That's Bradford's first penalty. And Brian Smith, Steve-O, who is a stickler for discipline, he will not be too pleased with the fact that they've conceded so many penalties early on, his team.
He'll be upset by it, but he will be pleased by the fact that at least they're eager. They're moving up across that advantage line and not allowing Leeds any latitude. That's their key tonight. They've got to try to just swamp them down, make sure that Kemp and Schofield don't start weaving the magic. If they allow those two to run, they're in for a heavy night.
Donahue to Fox, and Fox to Summers. Good long ball to Robbie Paul, and Robbie Paul brings Jonathan Scales on his inside. Jonathan Scales, the winger, just 13 games for Leeds in his career here at Headingley. Fox kicks over the top. That's a good kick too, and it's well taken by Francis Cummins.
Is it ever, with Carl Fairbank charging down upon you like that? Nerves of steel there from Francis Cummins.
He's convinced he defused the bomb behind his own try line. Referee says not. Well, I'm not so sure.
Well, he jumped from within. Pretty difficult one for the referee Cummins to adjudicate on that time. Either way, the Bulls have possession.
Well, he jumped from within. He caught it inside the in-goal area, but it's where he began the jump, and he began the jump in the field of play, so the referee is right. More pressure for Leeds here then. Fox is the dummy half, and here's the run from Hamer. He breaks one tackle, he nearly breaks two. No wonder John Hamer is wanted by Bradford, and they have a man out wide on the overlap, but they come back this way. It mightn't matter, it doesn't. It's a try in his debut for Shaw. Graham Shaw on his big league debut was not going to be denied then. A lovely, clever switch of direction of the attack, and Shaw was there to touch down.
He'll remember this for quite some time, but it was Hamer's run that put him in this position. Dixon kept the ball alive, and the loose forward was there on the inside of Fox to take it gleefully. But this Leeds defence was caught, and look how the Hamer goes through. Woeful attempt at tackling by Harmon and Lowe's. Then when the ball went out wide, it was Dixon that kept it alive. And you could see there that the Leeds defence, they were not moving forward, they were hanging back.
What a night for 20-year-old Graham Shaw then. The fourth loose forward that Bradford have used this season, and that's his try on his debut. A night to remember for him. Fox with the conversion attempt, and Fox doesn't miss from that range. And Bradford have a 6-2 advantage here.
Look at the three Leeds defenders when the ball is switched back on the inside. Oh, look at the gap there. There was no chance of stopping Shaw.
Great try for Graham Shaw, signed in June 1994 from the Mould Green Amateur Club. And then a mistake from Andy Ireland from the kickoff. Just couldn't keep his feet, could he? Oh.
Lush turf out there. Headingley grass. It's like a billiard green.
Or a bowling table.
I got the colour right anyway.
Caudle with his first touch in the big league for quite some time. And this is Carl Hall.
Well, a message has got to come out from the coach, Dean Bell, to this Leeds outfit to get their defence sorted out. Oh, and that was a swinging one there from the new fella, Barry McDermott.
Dixon with the drive in for Bradford, coming up to the 12th minute, and Leeds behind again in a match that they're expected to go out and win. But my word, Bradford, they don't need any motivation when they come to Headingley. Fox drops the kick over the top, and that's a great kick. Cook will have to pick it up, and what's more, he's trapped, but he got back into the field of play. Fallon is the dummy half, and Fallon making no progress. Good swift tackling from the play the ball area by Bradford. Oh, Golden drops it. Knock on, it will be a scrum head and feed to Bradford.
Well, it's unforced errors again that are bringing Leeds their downfall. Not the best there from the youngster, under a lot of pressure, but not as much as those two, Hugh McGahn and Dean Bell on the right. They know they've got problems.
Oh, there was a knee up there. Referee plays on. Desperate moments for this Leeds defence. Sinjanalis plays the ball, and they try and spin it out wide again. Dixon, though, going nowhere. Kemp finishes him off as he tried to regain his feet. Here's Fox. Fox then to Andy Ireland. Andy Ireland pats it away, and here's Bradford through with Dixon almost, and desperate defence again from Leeds to keep him out. Donahue back to Fox. Were they thinking of a drop goal? No, they're going to run it. Paul, long ball out wide to Caudle. He loses it, and he's been given a forward pass anyway.
He delayed the pass. It was definitely forward. Well spotted there by Stuart Cummins. Even though he lost the football in the end. The ball. There's a knee there from Carl Hall. Well, he's walking the tightrope. In the first few seconds, he threw one that missed. Then he got caution for one that made contact. And now he runs in and does something like that. He's a fortunate boy.
Schofield with the possession. Tackled there by Graham Shaw. That's Tony Kemp, the dummy half. Craig Innes is the runner. It's tenacious defence from Bradford so far. Gary Mercer, Leeds certainly missed him at London as well. And no wonder with exuberance like that from the Kiwi second row. Schofield gets the ball out wide to Golden again. Golden, a man on his debut as well. He's 18 years of age. It's his full debut. Up to the halfway line goes Harmon.
That's a better run from the prop forward, and that's what they need. Good, hard, solid work at the moment, Leeds.
Lowe's on the last tackle, clips it downfield. Jonathan Scales got away from Jimmy Lowe's, but then just lost his footing, and Gary Schofield takes a kick at it, but the referee has penalised him, and he's not penalised the man who tackled him without the ball.
He kicked before the ball had been placed on the ground. Correct ruling there by Stuart Cummins. There you see it. Oh, I'm not so sure when you see the slow one. The rule states that you can strike for it, but the ball has to be placed on the ground first. Whoa, that was close.
It was a half volley. Looked like it anyway. Here's Hamer again, carrying on bravely. Looks like the blood has stopped from the nose. Ireland. Donahue was in the Leeds Wembley squad 2 seasons ago when he was here on loan. Never actually got into the final lineup for the Challenge Cup final, but he was part and parcel of the build-up. 16 minutes on the clock and Bradford ahead by 6 points to 2. Donahue gives it to St John Ellis. He dabs it through. That hits Schofield. Ellis picks up again, and it's, well, the 5th tackle, says the referee. Although it did hit Schofield, the referee must have said it hit him rather than he played for the ball. Kick over the top from Fox. It turned Fallon round, but Fallon did well.
Superb positioning there from Jim Fallon. That was tremendous play by the winger. Knew it was the last. He'd gone back into the corner, but not too far. Wonderful positioning.
Leeds having a little problem at the moment, just getting their attacks going. Have to do the hard yakka, the forwards, try and build the platform for this Leeds set of 3/4. Nick Fossard is on the field. He has come on for Barry McDermott. Well, his full debut didn't last long. Schofield's kick downfield. Underneath it, Scales. Scales comes inside and escapes the clutches. Good run from John Scales there. Another man out to do well here at Headingley is Scales. Signed from Gosforth Rugby Union for this Leeds club. Didn't really make his mark. He's just gone further down the road in West Yorkshire and joined the Bulls. Donahue with that little run. And Brian Smith likes an elevated position. There he is, the Bradford Bulls coach, right at the back of the main stand opposite us. The kick into the corner invites the run from Cordell, but it was just too strong and Paul Cook took the gamble. And the gamble paid off.
Nice kick though.
Just a little bit too much behind it.
It was a nice kick though. Pushed him right into the corner. At least they can set themselves up now. And Leeds don't look too eager to get involved at the moment. They really have been knocked around a bit in this opening 17 minutes.
Mann gives it to Innes. Lovely play from Innes. He finds Cummins. And the crowd in the south stand here saying that was a flop. Referee Stuart Cummins unimpressed. Schofield just fumbled it, but it was a pass that was behind him from Kemp.
Well, they've lost 5 metres, Leeds there. They've got to start standing a little bit deeper if they want to try to get this ball out wide.
That's a strong run from Harmon. Good tackling though by the youngster Graham Shaw. Shown up well on his big league debut as Shaw. Kemp, nice change of pace and change of step. Schofield's with him, Forshaw's with him, but Forshaw will score the try. Tony Kemp created that by a lovely sidestep, and he flicked the ball inside at just the right moment. They were queuing up, and Mike Forshaw, the man who gets his 5th try of the season.
The first time that they've stood deep, and you'll see Kemp runs the angle, steps right inside of Fox, hands off beautifully. Nothing that St John Ellis could do with that. Tried to take the intercept, but Mike Forshaw, who really has settled in well at Headingley. Long deep, and look at that, that is sheer class. The handoff, Fairbank had no chance. He showed the strength, upper body strength to hand off, and a man who's been supporting all of his time here at Headingley. Great try.
Mike Forshaw has equalled his best ever try return in the season. 5 tries now, exactly the same number as he had at his former club Wakefield Trinity in #94. But Tony Kemp was the architect, and now Paul Cook can add the extras, and he's bang in front too. So Leeds should hit the front here again. 6-all at the moment, 8-6 now. Leeds hold the lead once more by 2 from Bradford Bulls.
See how deep they're standing there. That's the advantage. That means that when Bradford go, they don't go in one line. He goes on the angle. You can see that Fox had just peeled off too quickly. It's only a fraction, but it's enough for the man to get the step in and get the half gap. That was well played.
Great try from Mike Forshaw then, former Wakefield Trinity and Wigan loose forward, making a big impact here at Headingley in the jersey worn, of course, last season by Ellery Hanley. Midway through this first half, let's have the first comment from touchline. Bill is with Alan Tate, the Leeds fullback.
First of all, Eddie, news on Barry McDermott. Very dejected looking on that Leeds bench. His debut for the side lasting only 10 minutes. He's come off and he's immediately had an ice pack strapped to his left knee. So he's obviously picked up an injury, which is really disappointing for a man who's struggled for any first-team rugby over the last few months and was really looking forward to getting back to playing. Well, it ain't lasted long for Barry McDermott. Alan Tate alongside me, that was a bit more like it from Leeds, wasn't it?
Yeah, we just, take control of the ball. Bradford were playing really well. They played the sets of 6 out, but we've got a bit of a roll on. Kempy magic there, and good support from Mike Forshaw.
Up until then, though, Leeds had been struggling, hadn't they?
Yeah, as I say, Bradford were playing the perfect game. Playing the set of 6 out. The kick and chase was brilliant, and any team would find it hard against that. But as I say, we've got a bit of rest now, and hopefully put them under a bit of pressure.
They will here. Schofield with the kick downfield. It bounced once and found touch. Good kick from Schofield, but it'll be Bradford's head and feed at the scrum.
Gave himself plenty of room. Let's get out of here. Experienced Gary Schofield. Great servant, not only to Hull and this club, but to his country as well.
And I wonder whether he will get the nod from Phil Larder and come into the England reckoning. Bradford's head and feet at the scrum, as I say. They have the possession, and bad news for Leeds in the prop forward department, with McDermott now with the ice pack on a problem, and Isini Familo, they've lost him for a couple of months with serious eye problems. So they have a couple of problem areas here at Leeds.
Wouldn't surprise me to see James Lowes actually going to the blindside position on the prop and bring on the youngster Mick Shaw. Really is a talented hooker.
Fox shaping for the kick under pressure from Schofield. Paul Cook just traps it with the instep and sets off. And this is a talent, this young man. He really is. Carl Hall gets in. He is man. Oh, he gets away from Ireland. He feeds Schofield, but the referee's pulled it back. Forward pass, he says.
I don't know why. I'd stake my mortgage on that one. It looked all right for me. That is behind. And how on earth Stuart Cummins could see from that angle is anybody's guess. Either way, deliberately flips the ball back. That's okay. My mortgage is safe.
I thought you might have been evicted then.
You can take the smile off your face. Well,
he's got a smile, but he wants 2 tries, Gary Schofield, for just 300 for his career.
Well, he certainly made the referee Stuart Cummins know that is displeased by it.
He didn't say much though, did he?
He did, with his eyes.
Robbie Paul. Good run from the young Kiwi. Younger brother of Wiggins Henry, also a junior Kiwi international. Well, the South Stand now underneath us are screaming for every pass that Bradford make of being a forward pass. It's John Hamer with that run. He was met by Marvin Golden. Now Andy Ireland tucks the ball under the arm and drives it into the 20-metre line.
Good solid work from Bradford. Not much finesse, they don't need it. They know that they've got the big forwards to go running at this lead set of the big pack.
Last tackle here for Bradford. And Donahue will bring it back and will dab it through. Oh, and Cook got a finger to that. The referee said it went backwards. And Leeds breathed a sigh of relief. The crowd for a moment went very quiet when Cook got a hand to that ball.
Well, it was worth it, wasn't it? Nice little kick through from Donahue. Bradford just got lost and it was on the 6. That's got to be pretty late.
He wasn't held though, coming.
The knees was going in there, I thought.
And about 10,000 Leeds supporters, I think, agreed with you. Carl Hall again catching the eye for perhaps the wrong reason. Oh, it's good play. Golden. Lovely ball that was from Cook. Golden with a strong run. Schofield the dummy half on the last tackle here for Leeds. And Schofield just looking round then for a moment. I think he thought he knocked on, and so too did many round this ground. Schofield just came to a complete full stop. Whistle didn't come, so he pushed the ball inside.
Well, I think Schofield thought he was going to get a penalty.
Maybe he should have done too.
Certainly interference with the play the ball. The ruling states if you play the ball and when you've done the tackle, it's supposed to roll out of the area. He was still laying across him.
Carl Furbank picks himself up, plays the ball to Fox, and he finds Andy Ireland again. Andy Ireland, of course, former Widnes prop forward, came to prominence under Phil Larder. Donoghue to Hamer. Strong, forceful run. And Mick Forshaw did well to stand up to the challenge. Here's Donoghue again, and now Fox will hoist a high one. Out comes Cook. Bounces back on Bradford's side. Still the last tackle. Good tackle too from Mercer. It didn't hit the Leeds player. It hit a Bradford arm.
Well, you could see the fullback Paul Cook was well out of position there. He had no chance to get to it.
Offside against Bradford.
Quarter miles offside there. Jonathan Scales, the culprit. You see, he made no attempt to get back. Spotted by Cummings. Well, that relieves the pressure. All that hard work this Bradford pack is putting in is going to waste with silly penalties like that.
5-2 on the penalty count, 8-6 on the scoreboard. Fossard dumped on the 20-metre line. Lowe's gives it to Mann, who gives it in the end to Forshaw, who scored once and once more. Tackle was by Ellis and Hamer. His shirt is full of blood. Kemp and Schofield linking. He finds Innes, who just couldn't hold on.
The build-up was absolutely superb. The New Zealander just couldn't take it. You could see Fairbank coming in with a shoulder. Perhaps took his eyes off the ball at the vital moment. But that really was well worked with Kemp and Schofield. When they do that run around, they do it wide. And it's split-second time and it drags the defence to you.
Well, 4 emphatic wins over Bradford last season. The Bulls' last one here in April 1994, 52 points to 10. You might remember we showed that match on Sky Sports on the Saturday, and Bradford, Northern as they were known then, were champions for the day before Wigan won at Oldham the following night to clinch the title on points difference. It was a terrific weekend, that. The high kick from Fox. We'll remember that day in April. And Paul Cook, who will not want to remember this night in September.
This is the reason why the high bomb goes up. And Paul Cook, well, his body language was all wrong, wasn't it? He got there on time and then tried to shift away. You've got to get your balance right. He certainly lacked it then.
It's St. John Ellis. That's a great strong run from Ellis. And he passed the ball back inside to Cummins. But it's good following up just the same from Carl Hall, who forced Cummins and tackled him in the in-goal area. Well, he's saying he could hear the call, but the call was from a Leeds voice.
Good strength from the fullback. St. John Ellis there getting the ball inside. But good work by Carl Hall. Look at the body strength there. Cummings did the right thing, put himself between the support player.
Caudle picks up, former Welsh international, 34 years old. Gerald Caudle back on the big league scene. Carl Hall with a strong run. It's Bradford's half so far in terms of possession, but Leeds ahead on the scoreboard. Hamer with the run into the danger zone.
They're quite happy, Bradford, just to use these big forwards.
Here's another of them, Fairbank.
Just basic football, playing out their full complement of 6, and then the big kick on the last.
Desperate defence from Leeds against Paul Dixon, who plays it but not properly. And what's the referee given? He's given a penalty to Leeds for that offence. The ball not played properly.
Well, it was being attended to by Schofield there. He should have just calmed down. He tried to get the ball away as quick as he could.
Well, Dixon was appealing then for a penalty the other way for the interference by Schofield.
He was interfered. There's no two ways about it. It's just the interpretation of the merry whistleblower. not so merry, and the face of Paul Dixon.
So here come Leeds again with Fozzard. Oh, and Andy Ireland felt that. Harman. Trying to catch the eye, remember, of England selector and coach Phil Larder. Here's Kemp. Spins the ball into the arms of Mercer. Tony Kemp, of course, one of the men that England might well be facing in the World Cup. He's in the New Zealand World Cup party, one of 4 British-based Kiwis. Here's Schofield. Seen plenty of the ball, hasn't he? Gets it away to Lowe's, and Lowe's didn't have control. That could have come off a Bradford player. Donoghue didn't hang around to discuss the issue. He picked it up.
Well, once again, basic errors bringing the downfall to the Leeds side. It was good work from the forwards. They got them into a position, and they really wasted the opportunity. I get the impression, Eddie, that this Leeds outfit are still confused with the style of Tony Kemp. We saw there he creates the half gap. He was looking for the second phase of attack, and there just is none.
Bradford in possession with Derek Fox, and that's Carl Furbank. Plays it quickly. Fox gives it to St John Ellis. St John Ellis with a little dab over the top, and a good job that the Leeds arm got to it. Was it Craig Innes or was it Francis Cummins who got the vital touch?
Nice little chip over the top. I think you'll find that it's Cummins that gets to it first. Good thinking. See there, he knew that the heavy traffic was coming up on the backside. The blind side was open. It was a neat little kick.
2 changes by Bradford. Alan Boothroyd and Roy Powell. Another former Leeds man comes on the field. And it's John Hamer and Paul Dixon who go off. Here's Powell, his first touch. Roy Powell will remember, I think, as many people will, the match at Valley Parade when he actually scored what would be deemed as the winning try against Leeds for Bradford a couple of seasons ago. Goal. Donoghue and Powell again. And Powell saw the line and went for it, and Leeds quickly closed him down. Harman and Lowe's. Last one here for Bradford. It's with Fox. Spins the ball quickly to Summers. He finds Robbie Paul. Robbie Paul is in. Oh, terrific try. Great try, Robbie Paul. Where was the Leeds defence again? It melted. It just disappeared as Robbie Paul took them on and grabbed the try.
Superb balance from the centre, Robbie Paul. Look how he runs the angle and just rolls the ball across there. Neat little step. They're caught going high. He's only a slim guy, but he's got plenty of class. But it was good work, though. The forward set this up. Hard work paid the bro. Look at that, just the step inside. George Mann, they were caught going high, and Bradford are starting to build in confidence, taking control. Look at that there. I'm afraid George Mann was the man that should have come in on the sliding defence, and when you go high, you pay the price.
Derek Fox adds the extra 2 to the Robbie Paul 4, and so Bradford now hold the lead, 12 points to 8, courtesy of the converted try by Robbie Paul, converted by his captain Derek Fox. Robbie Paul, he found first team opportunities difficult to come by under Peter Fox in the former regime at Odsal, but I think that they will be content to try and build around him at Odsal this time. A great talent. Furbank struggling to get to his feet, claiming a penalty from Craig Innes, looks at the Kiwi. Caudle, the Welshman. Really is the League of Nations, isn't it now, the big league? Welshmen, Frenchmen, Kiwis, the whole lot in this game. And 1 or 2 decent Englishmen as well. And here's Fox giving it to Summers. Summers has got support from St John Ellis, and St John Ellis cuts inside Cummins, takes on Fallon, but Fallon would not be shrugged off. Tremendous run from Ellis, but a great tackle from Fallon. And Graham Shaw again fancies another try.
Good refereeing by Stuart Cummings. Robbie Paul was held back at the halfway line, but he allowed the advantage.
Nearly through again, Bradford, in the shape of Carl Hall. Jonathan Scales heading for the line, and Leeds just holding him up a couple of metres short. That's Donahue. This is Fox. Fox will hoist the high kick. Here's a tester for Cummings and co. Cummings got a hand to it, and he just palmed it dead. Well, he took the gamble there, but what a break this was.
Ducks underneath it. That's been the Leeds problem. They've been haymaking rather than cutting the grass. And in the background, Robbie Paul was definitely held back, and Stuart Cummings did fine refereeing there, allowed the advantage. And another 6 they've got to absorb now, Leeds, and their defence is in disarray. They are just not tackling the legs.
Let's have a quick comment from the sideline. Bill and Alan Tate.
Alan, maybe Leeds lucky to get away there.
Yeah, you know, our tackling's pretty dreadful, and when they attacked it, we've got to try before. On our line, we've got to all move up together. Squish out the line, left out us a bit in trouble. But we've got to learn from that. You know, we've got to move up at them when they're attacking our line. But Derek Fox's kicking on the 5th tackle has really pinned us back, and you know, we're suffering for it at the moment.
Furbank with that drive. It was halted by Neil Harmon. Donahue trying to catch them cold at the play. The ball, he's just hauled back into the field of play. Last tackle here for Bradford. They just look as though they're lost for a moment. Little chip over the top. Oh, that's a try. Carl Hall. Carl Hall's got the try. Leeds dozing in defence again. The kick over the top. It caught them cold. Carl Hall was the quickest thinker, and he got to it before it went dead.
Superb thinking here. Superb thinking by the loose forward. No, it was Boothroyd, the substitute. It was a superb little kick over the he didn't know where to go. There was no one moving there, but the problem was that Leeds just stood there, and Carl Hall came through. Oh, that is a good decision, and you can see the in-goal judge there. Well, Leeds were caught napping again.
What a super kick, though, by Alan Boothroyd. Lovely measured kick, and Carl Hall, who really is getting a reputation as an opportunist try scorer. That's his 4th of the season. Sub in the first 2, in the centre now for the last 5. Derek Fox, 2 out of 2, and here's a chance for 2 more points, which Fox gratefully accepts. Well, it's the Bradford supporters who are cheering, and that's the reason why they have a 10-point lead.
Well, there's Boothroyd circled. You can see the Leeds defence. They just stand there. What's he going to do? We'll wait for him. He chips over. Where's the full back? You can see that Paul Cook is down on his haunches. Perhaps he was injured. Now he gets up, but it's far too late.
Well, 18 points to 8. Brian Smith, the Bradford Bulls coach, will be thrilled to bits with this, and so will his army of supporters who've travelled here to Headingley tonight. Bradford well in control of this football match in the first half, 60-40. And Leeds, Steve-O, need a bit of radical surgery from their coach, Dean Bell, at half-time.
Well, how many times have they had to do that this season? It really has been woeful, I must say. Not all of them, but where it counts in the middle, and that is where Bradford are playing. There's not a great deal of finesse from this Bradford Bull outfit. They are just rolling their sleeves up, doing their hard work.
Lovely ball out wide. Another chance here. St. John Ellis has been a real thorn all night. Oh, he tried to get the pass away to Fox. Leeds drop it. Forshaw taking such a risk. He got it again, and the danger is cleared for the time being. And now it is cleared. Moving off the mark. Leeds have the penalty.
Well, look at the blind side there. It was George Mann again. It was caught on the blind side. Cummings had come back to and if Fox had taken that ball, it would have been a try. It was play on.
Ellis had to keep the ball alive. It was on the last tackle, that.
But well worked on the blind side. You could see they're just having a rest. Oh, there's got to be plenty said at this half-time break.
Well, remember when last we were here against Halifax, there was plenty said, and Leeds produced the performance of the season in the second half. Now then, Marvin Golden pins the ears back. He heads off. This is a great run from him. Still going, Golden. Ellis shuttled across. Paul shuttled across. Ireland's there too. Eventually the youngster is felled. But Leeds in a very dangerous position here. And Lowe's called for the long ball. Schofield obliged. That's quick hands and a drop by Mann. And the referee will bring them back for the knock-on.
Well, for those who's never seen our game of rugby league before, normally people who stand outside are called three quarters. What we had there on the Leeds outfit was 4 forwards.
Scrum goes down, it's Bradford's head and feed. We're in stoppage time in this first half. We're in the hands of the timekeepers now. And the one thing, Steve-O, that you can say about Brian Smith, wherever he has coached, is he gets the very best out of what he's got. You said that the forwards are just doing the hard work, and so it's proved to be. So, half-time. Robbie Paul, he disappears into the dugout. Mike Forshaw, well, he scored the second Leeds try. They were 8-6 up at that stage, but then Paul and Carl Hall took a hand, and Bradford turned round with an 18-8 advantage. Big half-time team talk coming up from Dean Bell again. Wonder what he's going to say in that Leeds dressing room this time. His team are behind the 8 ball once more. Bradford ahead by... Bradford have certainly quietened this Leeds crowd down with that first half performance, which gives them an 18-8 half-time advantage. They even didn't have a go at Steve-O as he made his way down from the gantry to the studio here during the half-time interval. But quite understandable, really, because Leeds just not in the match for a long period of time. Paul Cullen is our guest on the programme tonight. And Paul, you tipped Leeds. It's going to be another big half-time team talk from Dean Bell.
I'm absolutely staggered at the lack of urgency in the Leeds pack, especially on defence. I still have the impression that Leeds can score at will on attack. They are very, very powerful and they have great penetration. They simply will not work in defence. They're going to lose this game.
They are going to lose this game unless Dean Bell works the magic again. Now, it worked against Halifax. Can he do it 2 games in a row here?
A lot of the legs from the Leeds pack were looking extremely heavy. Very difficult in this game to run backwards and tackle all evening, and that's what Leeds have done so far. They're surrendering the ball, and they are not making the first tackle. They're not killing that first tackle. Bradford have now got that little bit of an advantage. They have seen a little bit of a light at the end of the tunnel, and they're going for gold.
As a man who has had his fair share of injuries, you must feel sorry, I would imagine, for Barry McDermott, whose debut after his £100,000 move has lasted just 10 minutes here at Leeds.
Maybe that had some negative effect on the rest of the Leeds pack, because there's a sting missing from the Leeds tail, and Dean Bell has got an awful job in hand to resurrect that for the second half.
Steve-O, can Dean Bell get the magic out again, and can he get this Leeds side firing on all cylinders second half?
Well, I don't know whether it is right-footed or left-footed, but it'll be very sore because they all need a good kick up the backside. That's what they need, because they think that they can just score at will, but they've got to defend. Now, Dean Bell has always been, he advocates that the defence will win you games. Well, I'm afraid Leeds are not doing it. We saw on about 8 or 9 occasions there, especially the last break, where they were having to rest on the blind side. You can't afford to do that. Let's take nothing away from Bradford. It was a little bit like all the guys on the shop floor working, and Leeds are all the foremen. They're talking a good game. Bradford are playing a good game. They are working hard. They're forwards. Nothing, no finesse, nothing fancy. Bang, 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 get over the line, get it back to Fox or Sumner, up in the air and get to it. Leeds are they're just all at sea.
Well, the one thing we said in the commentary is Brian Smith makes the best of what he's got, and this is the try for the young debutant, Shaw, the loose forward, Graham Shaw.
Well, they're just keeping the ball alive, wasn't it? It was Paul Dixon that just spun out of a tackle. That's another problem where Leeds are having. When someone makes one tackle, there's no one coming in to block and make sure that the ball can't be kept alive.
But then we saw what Leeds can do in attack, and Kemp, the architect of this Mike Forshaw try.
The only one time in the first 40 minutes that Leeds decided to get a link. Not only that, it was a planned move, they stood back and gave themselves plenty of room.
They talk about turning points, Steve-O. Was that a forward pass to Schofield? Is that where the match turned, I wonder?
Well, it certainly did in the first half. I mean, but you've got to put that behind you. OK, they didn't get the rub of the green on that occasion. As I say, I put my mortgage on that. It wasn't a forward pass, but according to the referee, it was. You've got to roll your sleeves up and get into it.
Talking of rolling your sleeves up, isn't Robbie Paul a talent?
Certainly is. But look at that awful defence. That is just, well, I mean, that's worse than school children. I hate to say it, but they deserve everything. Everything in the kitchen sink at the half-time break. Look at this.
Kick this is from the substitute.
Well, Alan Boothroyd. I mean, they just stood there. What is he going to do? Carl Hall whips in and puts it down just in time. That's the reason why we have the in-goal judges. I mean, it's just deplorable.
But you've got to give Paul Cullen, we've got to give Bradford a little bit of credit, because they have played exceptionally well. As Steve-O says, no nonsense, no messing about, but they've done the basics right.
Quite, very similar to the Brian Smith game plan that we expected. He has a lot more natural talent here at Bradford than he had, obviously, in his previous experience with Hull. But he is working them to that basic plan. Drive it hard, make your yards, and do an honest day's work, and that's what he's getting from his Bradford side.
He would be an instant hit, wouldn't he, with the supporters at Odsal if he could coach a team that comes here and wins.
Certainly, and obviously you're looking in the background as well. You have the talent of possibly Paul Newlove may coming back into the scene there. He builds platforms and builds them very, very well, does Brian Smith. And I think tonight Bradford are showing him what they're made of. A lot of guys out there playing for the future.
Sticking by your prediction of Leeds?
Well, yes. I was the guy that took Saints against Wigan.
So did he, yes. All right. So did Steve.
No, without effort, it's a simple equation. The team that tries harder wins matches.
Well, Bradford have certainly tried harder in that first half. Can they keep it going in the second 40 minutes? We've got the entire second half coming up for you here on Sky Sports. It's been a wonderful half for Bradford. They lead 18 points to 8. But can Leeds produce the show that they've produced against... Half-time here at Headingley. Leeds 8, Bradford Bulls 18. 3 tries to 1, as you can see. The goals from Fox 3 and Cook 2. It was Bradford's first half. And Leeds, well, they are reeling from that first 40 minutes, and reeling also from the news that Barry McDermott has got knee ligament problems from all accounts. His debut lasted 10 minutes. Suspected knee ligament problems. Tony Kemp, though, is a man who can maybe turn this match round for Leeds. He was, without doubt, the man who engineered the try for Mick Forshaw, and he's the man now who's doing all the talking out there as Bradford emerge. Derek Fox, 3 goals in that first half, bringing his total for the season now to 22, and 8 goals here in the win in April 1994. It was their last win at Headingley. I wonder if they're on the verge of another victory here in this Stones Bitter Centenary Championship season. 18-8 Bradford lead then at half-time. Second half is underway as Paul Cook gets the game in motion, and Leeds, I notice, have made a change as Furbank fumbles but is allowed his eat. No, the referee has blown the whistle and has given the knock on.
Well, I just can't believe that from Carl Fairbank. The years that he's been around.
They've made a change. Mike Forshaw has gone off. Mick Shaw has come on. He will play hooker. Lowe's will move into the second row, and Gary Mercer will go loose forward at the back of the scrum. That's the news from the Leeds dressing room. And it's they who are in possession with Kemp. Kemp with a lovely run. Here we go again. Here we go again, Leeds. Just the start they wanted. And can lightning strike twice? If his name's Tony Kemp, it can.
What a tremendous run from the Kiwi. Took the run around there and threw the dummy, and you could see that Robbie Paul, he turned his back. That was sufficient. He said, get out of the way. But what a mistake from Carl Fairbank. He'd left the brains in the dressing room after the half-time talk. The wide run around, adventurous stuff there with Craig Innes. There you could see it was just a fraction. No one filled in on the sliding defence. Crunch time.
And that's his first try at Headingley for Tony Kemp. 50 seconds on the clock, and Kemp gets the Leeds revival underway, does he? Dean Bell and Hugh McGann, the coaching duo. Well, I wonder if they do have a little bit of magic in a bottle somewhere in the locker room here at Headingley, because it worked against Halifax. And is it going to work here again tonight? That could be the spark for the Leeds revival. Cook with a difficult conversion attempt, but this fellow can kick them from anywhere. Oh, it's crept inside the post, and Leeds have hit Bradford for the sucker punch right at the start of this second half.
There you see Robbie Paul. He's just come out of the one line, and the gap's enough. Superb dummy there. There was nothing that Caudle could do about this. Crunch time. He's a big fellow, Tony Kemp. What a start. It's brought this Leeds crowd alight. They were absolutely stunned as they went off at half-time. They could not believe it. But now they're in full voice again.
They sure are, because they had a sensational last 40 minutes against Halifax, where they ran in 50 points without reply. They got the benefit of an early try that afternoon, and they've got the benefit of a quick start here. A lot of people still making their way back into the stands as Tony Kemp sliced through the Bradford defence for that try. A big test of Leeds' courage, a big test of Bradford's nerve and resilience, but they're running away again, and that bounced off the knee of Schofield. It's play on. Here's Kemp once more. Kemp with a good run. He takes the ball into the Bradford half of the field. He wants to get on with it. Furbank and Kemp tangling, and Furbank, St John Ellis, I beg your pardon, St John Ellis not getting away from Kemp. South Queensland crushers.
Well, what on earth was St John Ellis doing here? There you see, he had a little bit more across the face, gave him a facial. Kemp didn't like it, then went on with it. Well, they've just lost their marbles. It was a bad mistake from the kickoff from Carl Fairbank that allowed Kemp to score that try. Well, from a side that had control of this game, they are just throwing it away by silly things like that. That's a second vital mistake they've made within the space of 4 minutes.
Schofield with the penalty. The point I was trying to make, they were South Queensland Crushers teammates, Kemp and Ellis. They were Castleford teammates as well. Here's Fozzard, and he's hauled back. The tackle by Alan Boothroyd. Nick Shaw is in a dummy half. This is a real live wire, this young man. Oh, that ball was stolen. It was surely ripped out.
He'll give the penalty. The touch judge has seen it.
He won't. He's given the knock on.
Oh, never. Fairbank reefed it out. Clearly with the right arm. Now, if we could see from that angle, where's the touch judge? You can't blame Stuart Cummings. He's on the blind side to it. Well, it was a gamble by Carl Fairbank. That should have been the second mistake by him. See, the rub of the green has gone against Leeds tonight.
Here's Caudle. Tries to break through one tackle. Fox the dummy half, and Roy Powell taking on Mercer, breaking the tackle. Taking on Kemp, breaking the tackle. Kemp and Golden get to him second chance. Donahue is the dummy half. Offside. No, a little swinging arm by Kemp at the play the ball. Interference.
Frustration at missing the first attempt at tackle. Just a little one. Just a rub on the face. That was enough. See, he's trying to get to the football. Well spotted by Stuart Cummings. Look at the fingers trying to get involved there.
Well, he probably thought if Fairbank can get away with it, maybe I can. 14-18. Quite a contest between these two, as we knew it would be. Donahue, the dummy half. Now, what Bradford need is a try early here to settle their nerves down. Powell will run it in at them again.
Well, they'll just keep pegging away with the big forwards and use the kick on the final tackle.
This is Fairbank. Here's Ireland. Andy Ireland, the gap that opened up and then it closed. Last tackle here for Bradford with Fox. Fox will hoist the diagonal kick. It comes back on the Bradford side. Powell can't pick it up. He's a big man. He couldn't get down that low.
Sure is. He just couldn't bend the back enough sufficient. But once again, the kicks from Fox, they're creating havoc in this Leeds defence. You could see that Francis Cummings went with conviction, but was missing it by a mile.
Golden takes the tackle from Ireland. Mick Shaw to Schofield, and here's George Mann. Good defence from Bradford this. 22 metres gained, that's all. Last tackle. Schofield's got a kick, and does, and that's a good kick. It dissected Caudle and Ellis. Ellis picks it up on his own quarter line, sets off on a run.
Good work from Schofield there. One of the first up to tackle. Well, it's a different Leeds in this second stanza. It had to be as well, as they know that Bradford will just keep coming forward with these big set of sixes.
The Winfield Cup Grand Final, remember, Sunday morning at 5:30, the kick-off at 5:40. Manly take on the Bulldogs. Join us for that live on Sky Sports. And it will be Brian Smith, the Bradford Bulls coach, who is our guest on the evening. Paul Cook took that clean in the in-goal area, diffused the kick downfield. So it's a tap on their own 20-metre mark.
That was good defence by Leeds. They really did apply the pressure, and they made sure that Derek Fox wasn't in any position to get for the kick. That's why it wasn't a great kick from St John Ellis to full back.
I think I did say that the Winfield Cup Grand Final, Brian Smith would be our guest on the evening. Well, it will be dark when Steve-O and I get up. But of course, it's Sunday morning at 5:30 a.m. and the kick-off at 5:40. Manly against the Bulldogs. And you can see the whole match repeated again at 10 o'clock the same morning. But set your alarms and get up with us and join us live. Start of a wonderful weekend for big league fans. We have the two semi-finals tomorrow morning. Lowes is buried by 3 tacklers. Last tackle here for Leeds. Mick Shaw again. Flips it over the top. Ellis read it well.
Wasted effort there by the youngster Mick Shaw. Gary Schofield was screaming for the football on that last one. His kick would have been more pinpointed than that. It was a wasted effort.
Mick Shaw, though, a growing talent at Headingley. Ireland, they fooled everybody then, including the man stood outside him.
Well, that's the reason why they don't play out wide in the centres all the time. Nice little shiner. He knows he's done wrong. And that's one of the few occasions throughout this game that Bradford have lost possession early in the tackle count.
Schofield feeds and gets. Kemp. Cummins has drifted in field. They've watched him well. Robbie Paul was there, and so too Neil Summers. Cooked the dummy half. Off he goes again. Bit of a difference in this second half, Steve-O. They're actually running from the dummy half position. They're taking them on.
Well, that's why the reason why he's injected the young Mick Shaw in there, because he wasn't making the Bradford second marker work at all. Now they are. See, they're having to go both sides.
Kemp escapes that tackle, gets the pass away over the top, but straight into Bradford arms.
Well, there should have been support there. I mentioned earlier in the piece that Kemp is a hard man to follow. It'll take a while for this Leeds outfit to fit into his style, but there's just no second phase of attack coming.
Here's Summers. Bradford standoff. Well, the floodgates have not opened yet at Headingley like they did against Halifax a couple of weeks ago. Oh, Carl Hall dumped to the ground by Innes. Donahue, the dummy half. Fairbank. Be desperate to make amends for that early knock-on, but surrendered possession to Leeds and gave them the perfect start. Fox will turn them round again with that kick. They're after him. Scales is after him, and Fallon just gets it, but is eventually bundled into touch. That is a tremendous chase from Bradford.
Really has been on great form with the kicking. Derek Fox, superb tonight. He looks a lot sharper than what I've seen him for quite some time. But what a great chase. The little general is enjoying this. He knows there's still a long way to go. fitness is going to be the key.
Bradford then with this set of 6, and Robbie Paul. Golden and Kemp bring him down. St John Ellis is up there supporting this attack. There's Derek Fox. This now is Fairbank. That's Ireland. And the Ireland try! He threw the dummy out wide and went for it himself. And Andy Ireland has come up with the 4. His first try of the season, and Headingley is hushed again.
They anticipated that Derek Fox was going to kick, but he didn't. Spins the ball out wide. Not the best pass there by Fairbank, but it made it. And the prop forward. What a superb kick, though. Look at this from Derek Fox. Split the winger and the full back, and the chase was there. Oh, that is excellent stuff. And from that result came the 4 points. A nice switch to it. See, they're just hesitating up, because the difference where Derek Fox has been using the kick all the time, but the prop forward playing out wide once again. Only a few moments ago he sent out a silly pass, but this time he claims the glory. Well done.
Andy Ireland, the prop forward, what an outrageous dummy it was. And Jim Fallon took it. And the Bulls stretch their lead, 22 points to 14 now. And Derek Fox has been kicking superbly all night, both with these conversions and in broken play. Has perhaps his most difficult attempt of the night, but I tell you what, he's brought his kicking boots with him. All the dancing behind those posts now. 14 points leads, 24 Bradford.
Look at the 4 Leeds defenders there. They're looking in the way of the arrow, and as soon as they switch it to the blind, they've got to create the overlap. Oh, that is a very poor one line. Nice dummy, though, from the prop forward. He'll remember that for quite some time. We really have a cracker of a game on our hands now.
Andy Ireland, in his entire witness career, he scored 3 tries. That's his first for Bradford. Let's have a word from the touchline. Bill Arthur and Alan Tate.
Alan, I think you were grudgingly admiring that kick from Derek Fox.
Yeah, again, going back a little, you know, he's, as I say, he's killing us with his right boot. He's putting good kicks in, and he's kicked one off the touchline now. But, you know, our defence on the line, we've got to move up and take somebody on the line. We can't afford just to watch the ball going along, along the line. And it's pretty cool to watch on the monitor here, but we've got to sharpen ourselves if we're going to win this game.
And yet, having scored within 50 seconds of the restart, you must have thought, here we go again, another great comeback.
Yeah, well, I think that might have been our, we started playing football too much. We got that quick try, then we tried to play football, but we should really just play the 6 out like Bradford are doing, and keep them in their own half and see how they like tackling their own line for 20 tackles. But we didn't learn from that. We tried to play too much football.
Paul Cook with that little run, closed down by Caudle and by Donoghue. Steve-O, Alan Tate rightly picking out Derek Fox as the main threat to this Leeds side. What a night for Fox to catch the eye up against Gary Schofield, who is so desperately trying to impress the England coach.
Well, they never give in this game, do they? And I know Derek Fox very well. He's a fighter. He will go right to the end.
Nick Shaw with that run.
But Leeds now have to start taking a few gambles.
There's one of them, Schofield with a high up and under. Who wants it? Leeds want it. Golden. Scrambling back, the tackler was Jonathan Scales. It was on the last tackle that. There's the turnover. And isn't John Scales having a good game on his heading return?
Sure is, but you see Kemp getting away there. He really is eager to get into the defence. They're working for each other, and oh, that's another one. Well, I mentioned from the kick-off that Carl Fairbank perhaps had left the grey matter back in the dressing room. It hasn't crawled back out onto the field of play yet. A wry grin.
Well, last time he came up with a mistake like that, Leeds scored a try. Schofield fires the pass into the arms of Kemp. He gives it to Innes. Innes to Golden. There's a man out wide. Golden, though, is taking them on up the middle.
Big gamble there from Carl Hall. He put the shoulder into Golden. If he could have got the ball away, it would have been try time.
Here's Lowe's, fed by Gary Mercer. Plays the ball to Shaw. Now Schofield. He finds Neil Harmon. Time for another prop forward try. And Fairbank's made 2 blunders, and Leeds have scored as a result of both. And Schofield weaves the magic this time. Harmon, his first try, created by Schofield's pass.
There you can see one Bradford player down. That means that they're down to 12. Lovely long ball out wide there. And on this occasion, it's Bradford that's caught the bad line of defence. But it came from Fairbank's mistake yet again. They've been punished on both occasions. Neil Summers was down, injured at this point. Just roll the ball across his chest. A night for the prop forward scoring tries, but what an important one that could be for Leeds. Just when they needed to fight back into it, the break has come their way.
Neil Harmon with the try. Yes, the night for the prop forwards. 2 number 8s now have scored. Ireland a few minutes ago, Harmon again, but Carl Fairbank will surely want a big hole in the ground to open up, and he'll jump in it, because he's made 2 classic blunders and Leeds have scored tries. Cook, side-footed, he's kicking well. We've got a match and a half here.
Quick play of the ball, there's a man injured, he's out of the play. You've got to be able to get an extra man out wide, and that's what they did. The prop forward, just roll the ball across the chest. It was enough.
Well, Neil Harmon, of course, as we've said all night, with Gary Schofield and Francis Cummins trying to attract the attention of Phil Larder, and that will certainly have done him no harm at all. Eric Fox restarts. Plenty of action left in this match.
But what a nightmare start in the second half to Carl Fairbank. Just cannot do anything right at the moment.
Darren Simpson has come on. There he is, chasing the man in possession. Darren Simpson replacing Neil Summers. And Simpson, it's his second appearance for this Bradford side. The younger brother of injured Roger Simpson. 10 years his elder. Harmon with the run again. Difficult to put him down in this move. Spent much of last season on the bench, Neil Harmon. My word, how he's bounced into this new season under Brian Smith. Big blunder by Kemp, surrenders possession to Fox.
Well, that was a bad mistake also. Could allow Bradford in, because as it's been the pattern all the way through for the Bradford Bulls, one out hit with the forwards, they'll grind their way to a win. They know that they've made the breaks with the use of the forwards down the middle.
Boothroyd is halted. Innes was the tackler with Lowe's. 8-5 the handling errors. We have a quarter of this match left, and it couldn't be tighter. 4 points the difference. Here's another one of those delicate kicks over the top. Oh, it's a great take, but didn't Fallon read that situation well? Scales took it brilliantly, but Fallon bundled him into touch.
Well, I'm not so sure that I'd want my wingman to be reading it this way. I'd like my wingers to get the football, not take the chance on the tackle. Very apprehensive there, Jim Fallon. He came up with the goods in the end, but really he should go for the football.
Well, good job, he knew what he was doing. Nick Shaw, little run, and Fairbank.
It's got to be a penalty,
yes,
surely.
Treading a very thin set of ice. Bradford have got it back.
Didn't get the boot to it right there, Gary Schofield. He could see that Bradford didn't have a sweeper. He knew that the gap was there.
But didn't Donaghy read it well? Simpson. 17 years old, Darren Simpson. Robbie Paul. Lovely skills to Ellis, and Scales down the line. He's in touch. Foot in touch, it will be no try. Touch judge had the flag up. It was Fallon again.
Nice work though. They worked a tight blind side and nearly caught Fallon out, but to his credit, he had enough power to just push Scales over the touchline. He's had a big game, Jonathan Scales. And Jim Fallon pretty close to being caught out there. It was beautiful play on that blind side.
I think St. John Ellis was disputing the decision, but he touched the line 3 times.
Yes.
There was a bit of an altercation in the back play as well. That's the reason why Stuart Cummins also brought him to there. Not short of a word or two, isn't St John Ellis?
Fozzard wrestled to the floor by Boothroyd, and the other substitute Powell. McShaw's the dummy half to Schofield. Long ball to Kemp. Kemp sees a gap and goes for it. Support from Schofield. Has he got the legs now? Schofield has the entire Bradford defence round him, and Jonathan Scales again. Great tackle. Here come Leeds, though they're not finished. Innes, another tackle that ankle tapped him. That one by Robbie Paul, I think. Innes trying to milk the penalty and gets it, and someone's on his way to the bin. Jason Donoghue, I think. Donoghue spends 10 minutes. Yellow carded by Stuart Cummins. Interference at the play of the ball. Desperately trying to slow Leeds down.
Little doubt about it. There you see, it was well worked though by Craig Innes. And the big problem is, do they take the 2 on offer, or do they keep the roll moving? Well, Bradford down to 12 men, perhaps it'd be a good idea to take the quick one, and they have.
They have indeed, and it's Neil Harmon driving towards the corner flag. Here's Schofield, who took that quick tap. Now Mann sweeping it wide to Kemp, and he's enveloped by Carl Hall. Desperate moments here now for Bradford. Down to 12 men for 10 minutes. Mann hopping, getting the pass away to Schofield. Here's Fallon. Harmon's limping back, but Fallon takes them on, and Scales again with the tackle. Schofield in the dummy half roll. Mercer. Good cover defence from Bradford again. Nick Shaw organising at the play of the ball. The teenager, he finds Lowe's, who finds Kemp, and Kemp gets the pass away to Innes, out wide to Golden, and Golden on his debut, he levels the scores. Marvin Golden with the try, his full debut, and 4 points for that young man.
A golden moment for the youngster. Excellent play. Again, we see the long ball from Kemp. They use the dummy. Innes, perfect out there. They'd sucked in the defence there. Look how the youngster went low. He knew that there was cover coming across. Darren Simpson didn't get to it. Excellent long ball here from Kemp. See how he uses the dummy runner? That brought in the winger, Caudle. Didn't he do well? Oh, that is a super try. Well worked. Watch George Mann go as the dummy. That was enough. What a superb pass by Innes. They don't come much better than that.
Marvin Golden, a try when he came on as a substitute on his debut last season, but this is full debut tonight. First full game for the 18-year-old centre, and he gets the try. Now Paul Cook, 4 out of 4. He has the habit of just sliding them over with the instep. He might have to give this a bit of a thump. Oh, you can see it all the way. You can see 2 points, and you can see Leeds have the lead. 26-24. What a game.
See how the dummy runner brings in the 2 Bradford defenders that circled, and Innes runs out wide. Oh, look at that. That's how you create the extra man. And the youngster goes into the corner. Well done.
Marvin Golden's try, a great moment for the youngster, and improved by the trusty boot of Paul Cook. And Leeds ahead once more for the first time since the 19th minute.
That was a big gamble from the skipper Gary Schofield. Whilst they were hanging around, wondering to get a message out from Dean Bell, perhaps, whether they'd take the 2 points on offer. It was an easy 2 points. They took a quick tap, and it's paid off for them.
So now it's Bradford's turn to fight back. Have they got enough left in the tank? Mann bounces off a tackler and shrugs away from a couple more. Unloads the pass to Mick Shaw. And Mick Shaw is brought down by Simpson. By Caudle, beg pardon, who gets the right side of him. But here come Leeds with quick hands. Innes, and out wide to Cummins. Cummins! He needs support, and Lowe's the second Leeds try in 2 minutes. James Lowe's. Is that the match that kills off this Bradford effort?
Leeds at their best. Beautiful pass there, but I'm not so sure that it wasn't forward. Georgeman to Innes. A lot of doubt on that, but you can't take anything away from the skillful play by the youngster Francis Cummings. And like all good hookers should do, they support down the middle. Notice how Lowe's has just played at the dummy half. He will trail down the middle now. He knows it's going to come back on the inside. And this is the reward that you get for doing just that. Tremendous play by the hooker. Started it from the dummy half, trailed back down on the inside. You often use it, but this pass, I think, may be a bit doubtful. Either way, Stuart Cummings has allowed it. It was Cummings, the winger, that stepped on the inside. Well started and well finished by that man.
Well, the referee has had words with Derek Fox, and now he's calling Gary Schofield to him. Is someone going on report here? Because the two captains are coming to the referee. The touch judge has been on as well. And if the referee crosses his arms above his head, someone's on report. And that incident, whatever it might be, will be viewed later next week by Greg McCallum and the game's disciplinary committee.
Well, did James Lowe's collect something while he was diving in for the try? I don't think so. So it must have been in back play.
Both captains, Schofield and Fox, the two number 7s, brought to the referee with a touch judge, then the signal. So that is something that the board will have to look at, and we're desperately searching through to see if we can find it. Meanwhile, the try stands, and Paul Cook 5 from 5, and you'd put your house on him kicking this one and giving Leeds an 8-point advantage. He's kicking well, isn't he? Really is. Extra 2 for Leeds. Suddenly the match has swung dramatically in Leeds' favour.
Let's watch and see if this pass from George Mann is forward. It is, but they've got away with it. Now, I couldn't see anything untoward there, neither there or in the back play. Interesting.
Lowe's with the try anyway, playing in the second row now, even though he was acting as the dummy half there and supported the move. Morley has come on for Mercer, and you know, since Jason Donoghue went to the sin bin, Leeds have rattled in 12 points and the match is turned upside down. How expensive that little indiscretion by Donoghue that was caught by the referee.
Not only that, the Bradford second row, Carl Fairbank, will be kicking himself. 2 bad mistakes early in this second half allowed Leeds to get back into a game that really was shot.
Innes. Carl Hall will not be shrugged away from him. Caudle stands in front. Leeds play the ball quickly. Here's Harmon again. 10 minutes to go. Now, have Bradford got enough under the bonnet to come back as Leeds did in this second half? Good kick from Schofield. Just turns Bradford round, eats up a few more seconds.
The old stager. He won't thank me for saying that, but he has been around quite some time. He knows exactly what to do. The message has obviously come out from their coach, Dean Bell, and I know what that will be. Just take your time, do not panic, don't force the pass, respect possession and play out your full 6.
Leeds in control of the second half in terms of possession. Steve-O, it's not like me to put you on the spot, but would you pick Gary Schofield for England?
I think we'd have to. I really don't think that we have anybody experienced enough. Oh, that's a bad mistake. He lost the football, he's allowed it to go on.
I think Bradford had given it away there, but referee Stuart Cummings lets them play on. Simpson is enveloped by 3.
Well, he just lost it, didn't he?
Sure did.
Getting back to the World Cup situation, I think that Phil Larder really does need someone with the experience and the nous to be able to get them through at tense periods, because it won't be easy against New Zealand and the Australians and the Samoans.
It's a great run from St John-Ellis. Roy Powell's the dummy half for Bradford. Fox takes control of the situation and clips it downfield. Back come Leeds though in the shape of Cummings again.
Well read there by the youngster Cummings. He knew that the kick was coming from Fox. He has been in superb form tonight. Much harder work by the forwards from this Leeds outfit. George Mann leading the way. Look at this run there.
Away you go.
Mick Shaw's the dummy half. Makes a few more valuable meters into the Bradford territory. Schofield takes control again and finds Kemp. Last tackle here for Leeds.
Quick play the ball, that's what's needed.
Schofield hoists the high kick. No problems at all for the young substitute Simpson.
He's got to be penalised.
Yes, man, has to be and is.
Once you've completed one tackle, you can't have it. Wasn't a bad one either, was it? Come here. Welcome to the big time, Darren Simpson. Well, he wasn't seen much in the first 40, but he's done his work in this second half.
Well, Donahue has returned for Bradford, but what an expensive 10 minutes in the sin bin that was. Leeds might easily have pinched the match here. 10-4, the penalties, a heavy penalty count in Leeds' favour. Touch of indiscipline that will not go down well with Brian Smith. Let's have a word from the touchline, shall we? I'm sure it's a happier Alan Tate with Bill now.
Alan, do you think it was the sin binning that proved the decisive point, or did Leeds choose that moment to step the game up as well? Mind you, it's not over yet.
Yeah, it could have went both ways. You know, Bradford do look to be tight, and so, you know, we got on the outside and a good try from Jimmy. But it could have been the 10 minutes with Jason off the field. Both sides look to be tired. Hopefully we'll keep them out of it.
Yes, they'll have to keep them out here. Robbie Paul stands. Here's Donahue. Play on, says the referee. Last tackle. Roy Powell, the dummy half. He gives it again to Paul. Now then, here come Bradford once more. Ellis dabs it through. It's a try. Scales. He touched that down before he hit the post. Oh no, he's called Bradford offside.
Good thinking though from the full-back Ellis. Neat little chip through. They decided to run with it rather than take the kick. You can see Derek Fox standing way back. There was no way through for the full-back, and it was a good decision. Scales was just a few inches in front.
Well, I'll tell you what, the referee Stuart Cummins has been pretty hot on some decisions tonight. Here's Harmon now, inside the last 5. Shaw from dummy half again. Furbank and Donahue bring him down. Coaches dislike pointing the finger, but I rather think that Furbank might get a share of the blame for this if it turns into a defeat for Bradford.
Well, it just rocked Bradford back on their heels, didn't it?
Schofield kicking the life out of it now. Bit too strong though on that occasion. That will be brought back for a tap on the 20-metre line.
Well, he wanted to keep it on the in the in-goal area. He won't be too displeased by it. Gives them a chance to get that one line of defence. They know that Bradford have got to cart it way up now. And they're in the panic zone now, Bradford.
And they're plodding a bit, Steve-O, as well, because I think they are out on their feet almost, the effort of this match.
Well, when you've got the likes of St John-Ellis in your team, there's always a possibility of a breakaway try. They really have got to try something different now. The chip over the top. Leeds as yet have got to put a sweeper in. Cook has moved up pretty shallow.
Here's Robbie Paul, little dancing sidestep, but Nick Shaw read it well. Oh, St John Ellis has chimed into the attack all the time. This is last tackle. Oh, he gets the ball away. Fox out wide to Hall. Here's Caudle. Caudle's going in under the sticks. Gerald Caudle with the try. He marks his big league return with his first try of the season. He's been out of the side since last October, and Caudle sets up a barnstorming finish.
Well, he's never going to throw the towel in, this kid, St John Ellis. How he got that ball away to Fox is anybody's business. But Carl Hall, didn't he do the right thing? And Gerald Caudle came across. Oh, we've still got time in this one. Fox right in front. Good run from dummy half. He was slack play there. Mick Shaw should have moved quicker in the second marker. He was caught. And look at the switch back on the inside there. There was no cover. Determination etched on Caudle's face. We're still in this game.
They certainly are. Caudle with the try. That was 4. And Derek Fox now with the conversion attempt from bang in front. And Fox doesn't normally miss these. Straight between the timbers. Oh, the shock on the face of Dean Bell. 2 points in it. We could have another twist and turn at Headingley. 32-30. A minute and a half to go, and it's Bradford in possession with Simpson, Donahue, Fairbank. Well, 2 tries. When Fairbank dropped it, he'll surely took it under the jumper there, and he did. Derek Fox, Robbie Paul through a gap. They're steaming up in support. Oh, great tackle, Marvin Golden. Fantastic tackle by the youngster. Ellis again. He's been a real thorn in Leeds' side, the Bradford fullback.
It's gamble time again for Bradford. Get on with it. It's the last thing that Bradford want to do is mess around at the play of the ball area. Time is against them.
They just lost the impetus then.
Here comes the big kick.
Fox again. Hoist the high one. They're all after this. Test for Cook. And Cook comes up with it, and that could be the match-winning catch.
What a great take under enormous pressure. Paul Cook there. He put his body on the line, put his winning bonus on the line too. He knew if it dropped that, the weights packet would have been a lot thinner.
Leeds now in no hurry to play the ball. They know there's 20 seconds plus whatever the timekeepers add. Shaw with another little... Oh, that's Fairbank stole it. What a silly thing to do.
Well, he took the gamble that perhaps the referee wouldn't see it.
It was on the last tackle, Steve-O.
I know, it's the last throw of the dice. It just has not been Carl Fairbank's second half. It'll be a pretty sombre dressing room, I feel. And in the corner, very quiet and peaceful, will be Carl Fairbank. He knows, doesn't have to be told.
Mercer bounces off one tackle. Nick Shaw, this is what he does so well, this little hooker. Took the tackle. It's a shame there has to be a loser tonight. It's been a terrific contest. Leeds driving it in. I wonder whether Schofield is tempted for the one-pointer. Thought about it. Kemp thought about it. Last tackle for Leeds. Here's Mercer, and they're running it. Dabbing it over the top. Simpson will collect. That's caught in goal. So Bradford will restart with a tap on their 20-metre line.
Well, that was a nothing kick. They should have been putting the ball into touch, eating up the time, not giving possession back like that. That really was a poor attempt.
Here's Caudle, who threw them the lifeline. Over a minute of stoppage time played. The Leeds supporters want that siren. The Bradford supporters are happy it's not coming yet. Robbie Paul, St John Ellis kicked it forward, and it came off Fallon, and then it was helped forward by Scales again. And the referee will bring it back. He'll play the first knock on. It's too late. It's all over, and Leeds have won. They have won a titanic struggle at Headingley. Marvin Golden with a try on his debut. the last but one of Leeds' tries that secured this victory. Derek Fox shaking hands, unlucky to be on the losing side. In fact, whoever lost this match would have had to be classed as unlucky. A night for prop forwards, Neil Harmon with one try, Andy Ireland with another. But what a terrific game, played out in front of 10,000 people. And Leeds end the evening victorious, but only just. It was a super contest. Fantastic entertainment on the big league tonight, and Leeds have come out winners by 32 points to 30. Tries for Leeds from Forshaw, Kemp, Harmon, Golden and Lowes. Tries for Bradford, Shaw, Paul, Hall, Ireland and Caudle. 5 tries apiece. The goal from Paul Cook just winning it in the end. What a night for Neil Harmon, the prop forward, to get a try. He's with Bill.
Neil, that was a titanic struggle, and you certainly believe in doing things the hard way this season.
That's right. I think any more spills like that, and the crowd got really well behind us in the second half, and we just seemed to lax in that last 10 minutes of the first half. All credit to Bradford. They came at us guns blazing, and we knew it was going to be tough. They always perform well here, so we had our work cut out tonight.
You did it last time you were on Sky, a dramatic second half comeback. You've done it again tonight, but right at the end there, you must have been worried.
Yeah, when they scored that last try into the sticks, it made it 2 points in it, and we just had to keep an eye on metal. Everybody, the call was tempo, everybody was on the toes, and you just have to forget that you're tired, and it's really difficult, but you just hang in there. That was some dummy you threw for your try. Was it a dummy? There was nobody outside you. Well, I've equal last year's, that'll do me. 1. But a crucial try nevertheless. Yeah, Scully set it up. The defence looked at Scully, and I was just hanging wide out. Not the usual place for me, but I was just stood there, and Scully picked it out with a perfect pass, and the gap was there, so I just took it. Thanks, Neil. Welcome.
32 points to 30, a magnificent match here on Sky Sports 2 tonight, won by Leeds. And Paul Cullen, who is our guest on the programme tonight, who just hedged his bet slightly at half-time. But in the end, Paul, your original prediction came up, Leeds going out and winning it. But what a 10 minutes for Jason Donoghue to spend in the sin bin while he was off the field. They scored 12 points.
Quite in the lead, so that was the 2 mistakes, of course, from Carl Fairbank, and we just recommended Brian Smith and this basic plan that he has of no mistakes and good yardage, and then from the kick-off, 2 mistakes, all the pressure back on Bradford, and obviously the power and the attack of Leeds. They have the ability to strike and did so.
They have the ability to score and strike from anywhere, but didn't we get a great finish thanks to the Caudle try under the sticks? And at the end of the day, time just ran out.
Certainly the Caudle try coming down that left-hand side of the Leeds defence, which was an absolute sieve for the most of the night. I think it was Craig Innes who missed the step inside, and Leeds not just pushing hard enough on the inside to cover that, which was quite an obvious play that the ball was always going to come back on the inside. That is an area that Dean Bell has to work on and work on hard. He, from the Gary Schofield interview pre-match, he's going to work on the Leeds defence. He'll have to start very, very quickly.
Well, last week, Bradford Bulls, they took Wigan all the way and they lost. Tonight, they have taken Leeds all the way and they've lost again. But I wonder what the verdict of their coach, Brian Smith, will be. He's talking now with Bill.
Brian, you said before the game you wanted to know how close your side could get to the big 2, Wigan and Leeds. You can't get much closer than 2 points, can you?
No. In fact, the way we competed tonight, I'm obviously very disappointed about losing the game, but I think the manner in which our players went about their work tonight, as I've just told them in there, it's never nice when you're on the losing end of a scoreboard, but if they continue to work as hard in practice as they did out there at training, I'll guarantee them they'll start to get those results come their way rather than lose them.
Maybe it was the discipline that cost you tonight.
Well, there's a number of things. I think, we improved our control of the ball immensely tonight, but ironically it was a couple of those errors straight after half-time, unforced errors that led directly to Leeds' tries and got them back in the game. And of course the other 2 tries they scored in the second half were when we had a man in the sin bin. Those sort of sin bin rulings are very subjective. By a referee makes a call in the heat of the moment, and we're disappointed with some of the calls that he makes at times, and I'm sure they are as well. We had 2 tries disallowed, so there's not much in the game, really, is there? So you're looking on this one positively again? Oh, exactly, yeah. There's a lot to learn out of the game, and as I spoke to the players about, you get punished for errors in pressure games like this, if you're playing against reasonable quality opposition, you're going to get punished for it quite often. So whilst we're heading in the right direction, we've still got a bit to go.
Brian, thanks very much indeed.
Good on you, Bill.
Brian Smith taking something positive from this match, even though it's a defeat for his Bradford Bulls. He will be our guest, by the way, on the grand final programme on Sunday morning at 5:30, and Steve-O and I will be having a bite to eat with him tomorrow evening. Be interesting conversation, Steve-O. Will you be mentioning the name of Fairbank to him?
Well, I don't think he has to. I don't think it has to be mentioned to Carl Fairbank. Well, I'm certainly not going to tell him anyway. But it's a situation where, I mean, very professional is Brian Smith, and we saw in that interview there that he's quite happy with it, and he's already told his players that he's happy with it. It was a good performance from Bradford. You can only do on the paddock what the cattle can do with the cattle you've got. And I think that he's doing very, very well with it. And if he could get 3 more star players, he has a problem at loose forward and he has a problem at number 6. Now, they are 2 very important factors in any team to become successful. And once he gets a good standoff and a good loose forward, then they will be a very good side.
I wonder, would it made a difference had Paul Newell have been fit and been out there tonight?
Well,
Talk about great players.
Well, it could have, but it would still not take away the fact that 2 unforced errors gave Leeds the opportunity to get back into the game. I mean, it was a situation whereby Leeds didn't look as though they wanted to win. And it was only the half-time break. If we'd have gone straight through on the full 80 minutes, I'm afraid Bradford would have just continued on with the roll. They worked hard. And that's the one thing that always disappoints me about Leeds. They don't seem to want to work for each other. They got in front again. And what did they do? They relaxed. That is another problem that Dean Bella's got to do. But apart from that, there was some magnificent tries.
There were some magnificent